I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of Job, chapter 38. Let's focus on verses 1 through 3. Then the Lord answered Job out of the storm. Who is this darkening my plans with his ignorant words? Stand up like a man and brace yourself. I will ask questions and you give the answers. Now, in reading Job, it's easy to get the impression that Satan is taking advantage of God and the Lord is passively standing by. It is as if God has been conned by the devil and pickpocketed, as it were, robbed of one of his best followers. But that is not the case. Satan may be taking advantage of the situation because that's his nature, but Satan is not taking advantage of God. And we must remember that it was God who brought Job into the conversation. Let's go all the way back. Job chapter 1, verses 6 through 8. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan also came among them. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where have you come?" So Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it." And then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? That there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and an upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil." So now we see that it was God's idea. And now that sounds cruel, as if no doubt felt to Job. But if God allowed it, then Job's suffering must have ultimately been a good thing, and we're about to find out that. For instance, at the pinnacle of his suffering, Job uttered these words, Job chapter 28, verse 28. And to human beings, God said, "Look, to fear the Lord is wisdom, shunning evil is understanding." So we began this probe into Job's story with a simple thought, that faith is not fact until it's tested. At the beginning of the book, Job declared in the book of Job, God declared that Job was a blameless and an upright man who feared God and who shunned evil. We hear that at the beginning. And of course, it's easier to be blameless and upright when the times are good. That was Satan's whole argument. But what if you stripped a man of all of his worldly possessions and his children even, and you brought that man to the brink of death? Well, that was basically Satan's argument to God. Through it all, Job never stopped fearing God, nor did Job embrace evil. So in the beginning, Job's faith was mainly a religious theory, a faith. But the end of the book, Job had the most valuable knowledge available to mankind. Job's faith was no longer existent. Job's faith is now fact. It is the real thing. The thing that he always hoped for, that he could expect from God during the worst of circumstances, is now a reality. And God knew it from the beginning. Satan learned it, and most importantly, Job learned it. But Job still didn't understand why all this was happening. And I'm certain that Job understood after the following conversation with the Lord. So in today's passage, the Lord says, "Who is this darkening my paths with his ignorant words?" Now, my own wife asked me that just earlier today. I'm joking. It was God's plan, not Satan's, for Job to undergo such tribulation. Therefore, it was ultimately for the good. And as the Apostle Paul said in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, we have learned this here. Do you feel like you are in the olive press being squeezed for no apparent reason? Well, when what we believe is not what we feel, and yet we still hold on in faith, well, that's when you truly know for certain that your faith is the real stuff. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And your giving to Groundworks Ministries transforms lives. Would you consider making a donation to Groundworks Ministries today? Because we need your partnership now more than ever. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. You know, another way to help is to tell people about us. Tell people about Groundworks Ministries by sharing these podcasts with friends and family and on your social media. Of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.